After 15 years of absence in the country and at the request of the Belizean government, the UN High Commissioner of Refugees, UNHCR, reopened its door to help the government in the re-establishment of the refugee program system. In 2017, Belize joined the Cooperation Framework on International Refugee Protection and Solutions.
Access to Belize and protection in Belize has been facing some challenges. That's why the government has been working with us since 2016 to improve this. And Belize has been, since the early 1990s, a state party to the International Refugee Convention, and it has also put in place national legislation.
More than 3,000 asylum seekers have applied for refugee status. Up to date, 28 persons have been granted such status.
The refugee situation here in Belize is actually a stable one in that we have around 6,000 persons in need of international protection.
With the mass influx of migrants moving north to the US, Belize is not a typical transit country.
But people who come to Belize normally do so for a reason.
In an effort to strengthen the country's refugee protection and solution system, UNHCR, along with the Refugees Department, partnered with the Costa Rican Refugee Commission with the aim to share information.
In the mid-2010s, really the realization came up that these structures, the national refugee structures, need to be reactivated in view of a research of new refugees who came in mainly from El Salvador in view of the increasing gang violence there. But also we have Hondurans, a few Guatemalans, and a number of other nationalities who are seeking protection in Belize.
As part of the visit, Esteban Lemos and Harold Villegas, both members of the Migration Administrative Court of Costa Rica, paid a visit to the growing migrant community of Valley of Peace. Lemos agrees with the Commission, saying that the mission was successful in bringing the two countries who are facing similar displacement issues closer in sharing best practices that both countries have adopted.
The idea of this twinning mission is to give some of the good practices and good examples of the Costa Rican expertise in this way, and try to give some ideas to the Belizean authorities in this matter.
What is Belize doing wrong in terms of dealing with refugees?
Well, I can say that Belize is doing wrong things, but maybe Costa Rica have different ways to solve the things or attend the refugee situation, and we are trying to give a different idea and different way to do the things. We can't say that Belize is doing bad things, but we can give our point of view and different ways to solve the situation. The region is having a different and complex situation with refugees. We are all part of the Central America situation, so it's very important for us to attend this situation as a regional thing and give regional support with different points of view and different traditions. For example, Costa Rica have this administrative court who, since 10 years ago, who attends the appeals of the applicants who the commits or commissions of refugee deny their decisions. And it's a very good practice, for example, that the states can have these administrative courts that decide, and not like a political decision. It's a technical, neutral decision, the situation of the refugees. So the idea of this twinning mission, the Belizean people went to Costa Rica last December, is to this change it of different experiences.
The delegation visited the western border where talks were held with the border commander and immigration authorities regarding challenges faced at the border and current displacement statistics in Belize. The delegation also met with State Minister of Immigration Beverly Williams. One of the key concerns discussed is the allowing migrants with a gang background to settle in the country.
She also feels certain constraints, mainly coming from a perception of public opinion that supposedly is not so favorable towards the reception of refugees. However, refugee reception is an international human rights obligation, and it's not for everyone. I think the fear that many more people would be coming to Belize to overwhelm the country's coping capacities that is often being quoted is not really well-founded, because for these who qualify, I think Belize will have space. So far we are talking about 600 who have already been found to meet the refugee criteria over the past 4 years. These 600 can definitely be integrated in their communities. They are here anyway. And I would dispute that if there is a steady flow of refugee recognitions of, say, 30, 40 per month, that this will attract so many others, economic migrants who would enter this procedure, because most of them would, of course, be rejected. They don't meet the stringent refugee criterion. And those who are accepted can be integrated into their communities and can contribute to the welfare of Belize, as refugees have always done.
Reporting for News 5, Hipolito Novelo.